Hello, welcome to the 10th official episode of Evan's Game Plan Podcast. Yes, we are in double digits, so now we have to have a special guest. We are here with principal, father, previous soccer coach, the great Chris Tillett. Whoa, yeah, the
awesome.
audience is cheering for you, man. How are you, Mr. Tillett?
I'm great. And you mentioned soccer, and this is episode 10. Do you know what the 10 jersey means in soccer?
Actually, I have no idea.
That's who, like, Messi wears the 10. Like,
really?
That's
that
your
is a
dude
very,
wears the 10. So I'm kind of honored. This is episode 10.
You're kind of the dude.
Man, this is crazy.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So,
appreciate that.
How was coaching soccer?
Love it.
Love it?
Love it. Yep. No, and I tell you what, I love the relationships, like, of the battle out there, because you're all on kind of the same purpose, same kind of goal in regards to getting better and winning. But I also love it because I've got to coach my kids over the course of their career, from my daughter when she was 2 to got to coach her last couple of years of high school. And then my boys got to coach them at different times and got to coach their last couple of years of high school. So
that's always fun, isn't it? You know,
I love it.
Because I've talked to a lot of coaches that were able to coach their children, and they say it's like surreal almost. You know,
it's one of those that you're gonna have some clear lines.
Yeah.
Like with Hannah coaching her last couple of years, if I had to say anything to her, I had to have my assistant say it.
Yeah.
Because she had a hard time separating dad and coach. Sometimes.
I'm sure that's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And there's always that stigmatism on, it's the coach's son, it's the coach's daughter,
right.
You know.
And if they know me, it's even harder.
Yeah.
At that point, because you better show every single day, you know, so.
For sure.
But no, it was a lot of fun. And I also got to, like, my boys, I got to be their principal when they were in elementary school.
Yeah.
And then I got to be principal when they crossed the stage. So kind of like
that's
their soccer
crazy.
And their school career.
Yeah, you were there the whole time. You just fit yourself in. You're like playing soccer? Okay, I'll be the coach. You're going to school? Yeah. I'll be the principal.
Poor Elijah. One day, like his senior year, it's like, okay, you're my dad, you're my coach, you're my principal, and you're my bus driver. Like, when do I get a break?
You have to abide. He has to abide by so many rules at that point. That's crazy. So I know you coached college soccer at one point. So what team was that?
Huntington University.
Huntington.
Women's soccer team. So NAIA school up near Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Wow, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
It's a lot. Yeah.
Indiana, what were you doing up there?
So that's where I graduated from. It's where I lived. It's where I taught.
Really?
Principal my first 16 years. Coached college, coached club.
Your first 16 years?
This is your... You know what? How many years is it? Actually, this is your...
I thought you were like 16.
I know. It looks like it. That's what that camera... Need to change the angle. I think this is... Maybe it was 14, and this is year 21 as a principal? Or
that's
year 23
crazy.
As a principal? I don't know. Something like that.
So where did it all start? What motivated you to want to be a teacher?
Oh, man,
a principal. I mean, did you start as a teacher?
I started as a teacher.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
No, I wanted to be a teacher when I was in high school. We'd go over to the elementary school, kind of like what we do at Red Bank, where we'd go over and do those, like, little pep rallies.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Or read to kids or so on. Well, I just thought, man, this is a lot of fun. And so, then when I was in college, so my first 2 years of college, I played soccer, and was working on the education side. And then left after my sophomore soccer season, went and got to go play soccer in Germany for 6 months. And then when I ran out of money, that kind of thing, it's like I wanted to be a teacher more than I wanted to be a soccer player.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you had more passion for teaching?
That, and I was kind of tired of playing through just injuries, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for adrenaline to kick in before your broken foot doesn't hurt so much, and you just
that's crazy. How was playing soccer in Germany? I mean,
it was awesome. I lived with. They set me up where I had this. He was like a kind of a part of the club. His name was Alfred. And he was also like my translator, although I didn't really need a translator. Most people spoke English even that many years ago.
Yeah.
There. And so, no, it was great. It was like I would compare it to what would be like the Red Wolves here, like kind of 3 tiers below, like USL Championship, League One.
Like D-League, G-League,
so
something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. They covered the bills. I got to eat.
And you got to see the world,
Got to see Germany.
Yeah,
that was about it. I didn't have any money, so it was pretty limited to wherever Alfred would take me outside of club.
Yeah, I mean, you got to roam around Germany.
I did get to roam around Germany.
Not a lot of people get to say that.
That's true.
And play soccer.
So a lot of fun. But came back, finished up my degree, taught 3rd grade for 5 years, then was an elementary school principal up until I came to Red Bank High School. So this is year 5 here.
Wow.
It goes by quick.
I was about to say 5 years, man. I feel like it's been
I know.
forever. It has been for me.
Ouch.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, listen, it's been forever for me. You've been here since my freshman
whole
year.
time,
Yeah, no, it's been great. So, do you ever prefer teaching the younger kids over high school kids, or?
You know, people ask all the time, like, what the difference is.
Yeah.
Or if one's better than the other. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. The conversations are different.
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
I don't open near as many ketchup packets, for
Yeah.
high schoolers
Thank
or
God.
tie shoes.
Yeah.
Just the occasional. But I also don't get near as many hugs either.
Right.
Kind of miss that piece.
Terrible.
You get the whole kindergarten line walking by you.
Walking by and giving you hugs. Yeah, you're like the
it was
hero,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
And now sometimes here you're like El Diablo. It's kind of scary.
I thought we agreed that was your name.
You're right. Okay.
I'm like
But
I'm
listen,
the angel.
you are the angel. But I'm just saying, you think it's looked at differently here than I'd say like a power position in elementary school. When you're the principal, it's like, oh my God, Principal Tillett. And when you're in high school, it's like, oh my God, Principal Tillett. I hope he doesn't catch me.
See, I guess I don't know on the other side what that looks like, because elementary, high school, I think if students know you sincerely care about them, then it's just received in a way like, I'm here to serve, and not here to get somebody, not here to do something else. So I'd like to think that, whether that was elementary or high school, like that love, that care shows, and that's always seems to be received.
For sure.
Well, whether coaching or principal or whatever it is.
I haven't heard anybody be like, oh my gosh, Tillett. Yeah, but I could just see that happening, and because it's a completely different environment from here to there. And going into that, how was it coaching college soccer into high school soccer?
Yeah, so I'd coached high school from the time that I got my teaching position, back in 1999. That was a little time ago.
A little time ago. I don't even know what I was doing at that point.
Yeah, you weren't even thought of.
I wasn't even doing.
Yeah, nothing. And so coached high school and club, through all those years, and obviously with my kids. And then, let's see, so that was 5 years. Then I went my first principalship. And then I didn't get to coach during that time. I coached club during that time with my kids, but my superintendent at that job said, listen, once you choose to be principal, coaching goes away.
Yikes.
And so I did what he wanted. I was like 27, so I was like, yes, sir. And so I didn't coach. But then after my next principal position, they asked me to coach. So then I coached the girls' high school team and was principal at the same time, which elementary you can make work. You don't have near the evening commitments that you do at high school. And then it was one of those things that was kind of like, I'd had a couple college offers and my family wanted to be part of that. And so they were like, finally, let's do this. So didn't have a school job yet when I took the coaching position, but Huntington University is like 1,200 students. It's a small Christian school it's in Huntington, Indiana, but near Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And, had about 38 women on the team. And
do you enjoy it?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Warmed me out. I'll say recruiting. Like when you see all this stuff on TV and NIL, like we didn't have NIL.
I would say, I was going to say, no way y'all had NIL.
We had athletic scholarship.
Yeah.
So, so I used my kids a lot of time, like Hannah and Josiah. Like, when we're going to a club tournament and I'm recruiting, I'd be like, okay, after Hannah's game, you're going to field 2, 4, 6. You're looking at these numbers.
Wow.
And making some decisions.
You were like scouting for players.
All the time.
That's crazy. I've never heard people talk about that in real life. I've heard like stories about it obviously in like sports media and things of that sort, but how is it kind of looking for who can be on the team and who's capable? Because I know being like a principal and having history and teaching, I feel like it'd be hard to kind of pick and choose things like that,
Yeah, it is. And when you have money, or like in my sense, a lot of small schools, that's a way to get enrollment.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have these ball teams. Because soccer doesn't make you any money. It only costs you money as a university.
Right.
Even at the University of Tennessee, like where my daughter played, like that costs money. It's not like there's so much money coming in that that the university makes anything. I know basketball. Well, basketball and football, I know carry the books. And I was never jealous of that. I appreciated them. But it was like I would have a couple days a week that once I started texting or whatever, man, it would go till 2, 3 in the morning. And, I have school the next day.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure staff and students never felt that I also had this other thing. So you just didn't sleep, and you just, you're trying to build relationships because you want girls to be comfortable, coming to that school, wanting to play there.
It's a huge jump.
Right. And you want to get those, a couple of those studs that might be able to play something bigger, but you're trying to get them to feel comfortable at your school so that they can come make a difference. Win games.
It sounds complicated. It sounds hard.
It was a lot. So, and that's what, like my daughter, her first 2 years in high school, I saw one half of one high school soccer game.
Yeah.
Because we were in the same season. And,
Right. That's crazy.
So I'm
you
living
had
through
to-
text updates.
So you've lived so many lives at this point. I
Pretty
mean,
much,
honestly,
yes.
yeah.
My art teacher was our soccer nanny and drove Josiah to his club games, like his club practices.
It was all connected, really.
all just
Yeah,
had to
that's
work together.
crazy.
Yeah.
One big soccer family, huh?
Got it done.
So, how would you say coaching has impacted you, teaching and principal wise? Would you say that leadership role has kind of carried over?
I think they're very similar. What you're serving might be a little different, but I think it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
It's all about, principal, it's serving teachers as they serve our students. Like that's my job.
Yeah.
I try to flesh that out on a day-to-day basis. If a teacher needs 2 more copies of
green
make the
paper.
copies
Yeah.
on green paper,
Right.
so that you have what you need.
I
Right?
appreciate
that's my
that.
job.
Put it here.
I don't care if there's recognition, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think coaching, in principle, you're kind of in the forefront just because of the role that you're there. But it's still very much like serving to help grow from one day to the next. Help
Right.
somebody, like if you have dreams to do this piece, then what does it take to get there? And my job is to try to help keep as many doors open as possible so that people can achieve whatever that
So
is.
it's sort of like the same thing in just a different field.
I think so.
Yeah, and that's great that it can carry over and you still see it the same way.
Yeah.
So I see you coming to school. You always have this positive attitude. So is it? I know that you're still human. So is it sometimes hard or difficult to keep that up and kind of be that light of the school?
I guess if I had to fabricate it, it would be.
Yeah.
I have the best job.
Right.
I always have. I think anything I've done, anywhere I've been, it's kind of just been pretty blessed and just the best opportunity.
Of course.
So that piece, it's not hard to do what I do just because it's one,
It's
I
what
enjoy
you
it,
do,
and 2,
yeah.
I just love it. The opportunity to serve today. I don't know. I tell people I want to live today like I'd like to live it twice.
Right.
I don't want to waste a moment. I don't want to waste an opportunity. I think my handshake, my smile, my knuckle bump has power, and I don't want to pass up
Yeah.
a chance to do that in the hallway as somebody's walking by because they might need that in that moment. Same with coaching. And I really missed that at this point with, I stopped with Elijah graduating. But even the same thing there. You're out there. I didn't think anything about anything else except kind of the coaching and the players that were there.
Yeah.
And the relationships that you have with your players and just the bonds out there through, sprints and difficult moments and so on. And the opportunity just to share things and just help somebody get better from one day to the next.
And
it's very similar.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say with being a principal, you have so many connections around the school with students that you may not even know. And you might just fist bump them every single day, but maybe for them that's like the light of their day.
You just don't know.
Yeah. So that's why you always got to do
in
it.
Elementary school, I always felt it was important. Like, one, they might not see a lot of males in the building, so
Right.
I obviously worked with a lot of female teachers and so forth. But even just saying those words, get ready for this.
Yeah.
Like, I love you, man.
Wow. I love you.
Sometimes they might not have
Yeah,
heard that from a
right,
male or
exactly.
from somebody else, and it wasn't that it wasn't. It was sincere because I'm doing everything I can to take care of and meet whatever needs they might have. But
of course,
I think students realize there's a lot of things, and people have a lot of needs and need a lot of supports through different challenges in life, and I think that's one of those things that in my role, getting to kind of prop people up to meet those needs.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of principals, and a lot of people that miss out on the
Yeah.
most fun of what it is that
Of
we get
course.
to do, which are these relationships.
I mean, there are people that work in cubicles, and you're looking at them and you're going, "Oh man, I bet this guy's job sucks," but they could be enjoying it to the max, and we're sitting here being like, "This guy's just sitting in a cubicle." People could be like, "Oh, this guy's just a principal." You know what I'm saying? He has to do all this paperwork all the time, but it's like you enjoy it, and it's like it's your passion, and it's just people don't usually. There's a lot of stigmatism around those sort of jobs.
Right. Oh man, but I get ball games. We got the arts. We got programs like this. I mean, the opportunity to bring things in that help maybe light a spark for a student,
For sure.
to a potential career that you didn't realize you might even be interested in. Like, on the flip side, there's nothing I get down the road except that, I don't know, I feel pretty good about that students, they get to play ball. They get to do these other kinds of things because high school may be the last place or the only place that they get to try something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, So it's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Just
because,
kidding.
I mean, coaching. I've talked to many coaches now. I mean, a lot of the guests I've had recently have all been coaches. And they always are talking about the pressure to kind of keep that positive mind or to keep this or to be a leader for their team. And I know that could be 10 times bigger or 10 times harder or whatever it is being a principal. Because it's not, with coaching, you have specific things to teach. You know what I'm saying? You have hitting, you have this, you have that. But with teaching, it's so broad, or with being a principal, it's so broad.
Well, and I think sometimes coaching's a little easier on that side to speak to that in there. I have a game on Tuesday. We got to see if what we've been doing worked, kind of our test.
You have
right?
a game
like,
plan.
It's the test.
Evan's game plan.
Boom, that's oh man,
universe.
It's all connected
the universe
to me
that comes
right now.
around.
Man, unbelievable. So, but you play that game and you realize, okay, hey, we failed in this, and this, or we got to get better in these pieces, and you can go right back to work. School's a little harder with some of those things to see the actual improvement from one day to the next.
Right.
Because if you're just waiting until EOC's at the end, and just hope that it's better, that's a tough way to live. I don't ride that roller coaster.
There's not much statistics to look at anymore.
No.
It's not about logistics. It's not about that. It's about just kind of hope and not hoping. It's about building it.
Right. Whereas sports, from football, one Friday night to the next, did we get better? Did we not get better?
Exactly.
Like you get to see, it's almost immediate.
Yeah.
And we all like that, right? Like we get that.
We're like, let's
that
go.
Instant,
yeah,
that
exactly.
Instant satisfaction,
It's rewarding,
Yep. Principal, sometimes it's a longer game that you're
right.
playing. Like, from a freshman to a senior. But I'm telling you what, elementary, I mean, they are very different.
Yeah.
But high school, just seeing the maturity from 9th grade to 12th grade.
Oh, yeah.
It is bonkers.
It's crazy.
It's kind of like kindergarten to 5th grade, because kindergarten, they're human. But, I mean, they're still learning how to get along with other people.
Right.
They might have never had friends that they're playing with at recess, and you're trying to help figure all those things out. Very similar to freshmen, I guess.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
I'd say kindergarten and freshman are kind of on the
similar.
same tee right there.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, being at Red Bank High School for, 5 years now, what would you say are some of your favorite school memories?
Man, every day.
Every
Otherwise,
day?
I'm not living it right, man.
Yeah, no, I get that. Wow.
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Like, I don't understand sometimes how people can go through days and they just, they missed out on all the moments that were there. But favorite memories, I think, graduation's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think, first day of school, although, can I tell the story?
Go for it. Dude, we got time.
Okay. Well, elementary principal, it's a big deal on the first day of school. There's a lot of elementary mamas that want pictures of their kid with the principal.
Oh, really?
This is a thing.
Wow.
Yes. Especially kindergarten.
Right.
So, hey, it's the first day. This is
ever.
huge. Right. And so on the first day, I'd always wear a suit, because it's like, okay, I can't stand wearing a suit.
Really?
But I can't stand it. But I would wear it on the first day.
Yeah.
And then I'd basically, as they're dropping kids off, I'd stand there and I'd happily have
Hold
my
their
picture
kid
taken.
and
Yeah.
smile.
I still run into people here that, you're still on a refrigerator, which is, not creepy.
Thank you, man. I
it's
guess,
really an honor.
right?
And but you take all these pictures. Well, my first day at Red Bank High School, I'm thinking probably totally the same, right? Like all these high schoolers are going to want a picture with me on the first day of school as they come in. So I wore that suit, and you're not going to believe this. Not a single student wanted their picture with me.
That's
crazy. I'm not saying I
crazy.
still remember this story,
Right.
and it hurts emotionally, but that was a tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough day. That this was
you
a
don't
little
have to
different.
lie. I know it probably hurts emotionally. I know. It's okay.
Man.
It's okay, Mr. Tillett.
I know.
It's okay.
Yes.
That is shocking to me that you thought these high school students, man, were gonna be like, Mr. T, man.
That's just where
what's
my heart
up?"
is, man.
Hey,
thought
I
this was a
understand
thing,
it though.
know?
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe we can start building that up.
I'd really rather not wear the suit. So I didn't even wear it on the first day of school the last couple of years. And nobody even
noticed.
No.
Nobody was like, hey,
But
Tillett, where's your picture suit?
Exactly.
Right.
Because it's only one suit basically that I have, and I bought it in 1999 to interview for my first teaching job.
Wow. Hey, that should be like a lucky suit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you not hold sentimental value to it?
Well, I mean, I just
Nobody took a picture with it, so
right,
it's
I
like
just don't have to pay for a new one.
Yeah, I get it.
And that it still fits. Like,
yeah.
Although it is suit season, so I've had to work out the last month to make sure that I can still.
You can still fit your picture
fit
suit.
in. Yeah.
Understood. Trust me, I get it.
Well, we
So
got those events coming up. Senior night, top 10, all the
it's going to be
graduation.
crazy. It's going to. So that actually ties into what I was going to talk about next. What are we looking at for the future of Red Bank?
Looking at for the future of Red Bank?
Yeah, just for the future of Red Bank.
Man, we're always looking at different things. So right now, looking at actually meet with department chairs this afternoon, talking about things with schedule, talking about how we interact with third block, how can we continue to make things better. What we might want to do with like our student mentors to make that a more meaningful impact for them and for for the freshmen. I know you were part of that conversation the other day, so excited about some of those changes. I think are better for all. Facilities. I don't know that if you've toured down there, and I have a facility meeting here later today. But I mean, we got that $1.4 million renovation going on.
I've heard about that.
Football locker room, the space up above, wrestling practice room. The district then came in and added our wrestling locker room, kind of the restroom area, shower area, and our cheer locker room onto their.
Yeah, I heard about the cheer locker room.
So, that place was frightening.
I heard.
I mean, El Diablo.
El Diablo. Oh yeah, that's where it all started, man.
I mean, it was bad. And like when we took Commissioner Sharp and a few people in there for the first time, they didn't want to stay in there.
Yeah.
And they were like, we've got to do something about this. I'm like, thank you.
I'm glad that it's all changing now. So is it a huge responsibility as a principal to kind of keep those things moving year by year? Because I know we talked about the I'd say progressive but slow growth, So is it hard to pinpoint what exactly the school needs or when we need this or the funds for this or all? Because I'm really trying to get into that.
Yeah, I'd say there can be a lot on the plate at times.
Yeah.
But we're fortunate to have a lot on the plate because we have a lot of partners who really look out for us. Like our school board member, Ben Connor, does a great job. I meet with him on a regular basis. Commissioner Sharp, again, that's basically who got us air conditioning in the old gym.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't have happened without him. He called me one night, hey, do we need this?
Oh,
and I'm like,
dang.
yes, we have these extra funds that we're trying to spend on school projects. How would you like air conditioning in the old gym?
That is amazing.
Like, I'll give you a hug, man.
Yeah, right?
And that was awesome.
Flashback to elementary school.
But again, if you don't have those relationships, sometimes some of those things maybe don't happen. But when I think about facilities during that first year I was here with half students here, half virtual, we got that new weight room that year. We have new bleachers, new HVAC, new windows, when you think about all the things that have changed just even over the last 4 or 5 years, it's pretty amazing. I know our superintendent has joked a few times with me that we've got to stop spending money at Red Bank. but I appreciate all the pennies they put into this place.
Coming in from my freshman year to now it being my junior year, I've just seen just this room in general become a thing, and just everything around the E-Lab and my institute and the cameras and everything like that, the video boards and the new gym and all of that. It all looks great, and I feel like it's all going to the right places. Who am I to say? You know what I mean? I'm a junior, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it's all looking like amazing. So,
and for me, the angle is student engagement.
Yeah.
Right. Like you guys have heard me say over and over, do something. Be part of something.
Yep.
Be on a team. Be in the band. I wish we had 300 people in the band. And 300
yeah.
people
Right.
on the football team. I don't care what it is that's your thing.
Do something.
But do something. And that's like when we talk about this room. I was out in Vegas a couple years ago. This is our esports.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Here. And I saw this massive tournament that was going on and all the money that could be won. And I came back and I was like, Mr. Wood, I don't know what it takes, but I want a national championship esports team.
Wow.
So we researched it. We bought the stuff that we needed. And now we got to expand.
It'd be awesome.
More students that want to participate.
Yeah, so. I'm sure. And imagine Red Bank, the home of the national esports team, right?
On like ESPN.
Right, and they're talking about it, right?
Oh man, that would be sweet.
And they say his room is also used by Evan's Gameplan podcast. Go check it out.
Right, that might be like in really small print.
Yeah, like at the very bottom.
Because they probably wouldn't take the time to
really
say
quick.
it.
Why would they do that?
Another language even.
Yeah, right.
So,
hey.
Sorry, man.
It's an audience.
Yeah, but maybe 10 years from now, that it's like bigger font.
Right, maybe just like by a little bit.
It might be green.
I'd hope so, right?
That'd
Easter
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, y'all. Haven't really got to address holidays. Yeah, happy Easter, guys. I wish I had eggs here to egg Tillett. Edit that in.
Ouch.
Plastic
eggs, please.
So what makes Red Bank different from other schools?
That is a question I actually get asked on a fairly regular basis.
I'm sure.
And I don't know that I have the exact answer.
Yeah?
I think even some of our neighboring schools and so forth kind of ask what that difference is as they try to get kind of that... maybe it's like a pride. I don't know. The more I'm here, the more I realize how many people in Hamilton County, Chattanooga, are connected to Red Bank in some way or another. They graduated from here, had a grandparent graduate from here. I mean, there's just some sort of this like legacy piece that goes to it that everybody just takes a piece extra, little extra pride, like a little smile, or maybe it's just they got beat by Red Bank every year.
And they talk
just
about
beat
it, right?
Beat Red Bank. It's just like it kind of matters to everybody, and I don't fully understand what that little it piece is,
but it's there.
It is.
I understand what you're talking about. Yeah. I feel like it's sort of like I haven't been to like a school. I mean, I went to Normal Park, and Normal Park was it was like a community, you know what I'm saying? And I came into Red Bank expecting nothing like that. That the school was going to be separate, it's going to be the jocks, there's going to be this, going to be that. But this, I mean, Red Bank just sort of feels like more of a community than like a lot of other things that I've done. Or like, I feel like I can just see, like prom. I was nervous for prom. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, but everyone danced together. Nobody cared. Everybody put everything to the side, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, when it really matters, I feel like we're all kind of one, you know?
Yep. No, I think like you're kind of speaking somewhat to even to that diversity,
right?
And I tell you what, like it plays so nice together here. And both my boys who graduated from Red Bank would tell you they're better people for having attended here.
Yeah.
You know, because you also have to remember, in my own house, I had to hear it. Like if something wasn't right, or like when coming into my first year, they're like, "Okay, Dad, dress code.
Right?
Can we wear athletic pants?" And I'm like, "Why aren't you wearing athletic pants?"
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Elementary, they just come to school in their PJs sometimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't really even matter, you know. And so we changed that. So like athletic pants. But
thank you, man. I don't wear athletic pants, but I appreciate
son, it. You know.
Yeah.
I had to go there.
So Tillett, we're wrapping up here now. What would your message to the youth be?
Man, that's kind of a big.
I know, right?
A big question.
They're watching.
Like engage with each day.
Yeah.
You know, there's this thing about like, I don't remember who said it. Maybe it was somebody in the military talked about like when you make your bed each day, like you already got one thing accomplished.
That was
like
me.
Start your day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't see who.
Good
said
to meet
quote,
you.
You know,
yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man. And you know, so we talk about that sometime at my house. Like when you already have that done, like you've already got something accomplished. It just sets this trend to get other things accomplished. And I think too many people let the day go by without taking advantage. And I tell you what, just engage.
Engage.
Make each day count.
Amazing. Mr. Tillett, it was great talking to you. Double digits finally, guys. Evan's game plan. We're at episode 10. This was my game plan. Mr. Tillett's game plan, but never lose your game plan. And we're out.